My precious child, stay your hand for just one moment. I am the breath in your lungs and the stillness in this room, and I have come to you in the precise second before your ink touches that page. I am the Father of lights, and I am here in the silence of your room, standing closer to you than your own heartbeat. I have watched you pace these floors at 3 in the morning, your mind a whirlwind of numbers and what-ifs. I have felt the cold dread that settles in your chest when you look at that document, that contract, that agreement that feels like a heavy chain disguised as a lifeline. You feel cornered, don't you? You feel as though the walls are closing in, and this paper is the only way to keep the shadows at bay. But I am here to tell you, do not sign it yet. Not until you have heard the melody of my voice over the cacophony of your fear. You are worried about the debt that looms like a mountain, about the cupboard that feels too empty, about the loneliness that has become a familiar, unwanted guest in your home. You think you are alone in this battle, but I have been the silent witness to every tear that has tracked down your cheek when you thought the world wasn't looking. I have bottled those tears, my beloved, and they have become the seeds of the miracle I am even now preparing to harvest in your life. The world tells you to hurry, to rush, to grab whatever crumbs are thrown your way before they disappear. But I am the King of the universe, and I do not deal in crumbs. I deal in banquets. I deal in overflowing cups and paths made straight through the wilderness. This pressure you feel to sign, to commit, to bind yourself to a path born of desperation, it is not from me. For my spirit brings liberty, not bondage. I am opening a door that no man can shut, a door you cannot even see yet because your eyes are fixed on the ink and the dotted line. Look up. Look into my eyes. I am orchestrating a shift in the atmosphere of your life. I am moving people you have never met to act in your favor. I am rearranging the very fabric of your circumstances to provide for you in a way that will leave you breathless with gratitude. Do not let anxiety be your architect. Do not let the spirit of lack dictate your future. I have promised that I will never leave you nor forsake you, and that promise is not a hollow echo from an ancient book. It is a living, breathing reality that surrounds you right now. I am in your finances, I am in your family, I am in the very marrow of your bones, bringing healing and restoration. The miracle you have been begging for is not delayed. It is being prepared with such precision that, when it arrives, it will leave no doubt that I am the Lord your God. Stay your hand. Wait for the peace that passes all understanding to settle over your soul like a warm blanket on a winter night. That peace is my signature on your heart, and it is the only validation you need. Trust me with the timing. Trust me with the outcome. I am your provider, your protector, and your greatest advocate. Do you remember the times I carried you when the road was too steep? Think back to the moments where you thought you had reached the end of your strength, only to find a hidden reservoir of resilience you didn't know you possessed. That was me. That was my hand beneath your spirit, lifting you higher. This moment is no different, though the giants you face today may seem larger and the shadows longer. The paper you hold represents a shortcut, a compromise with the world's way of doing things, but I have a highway of holiness and abundance waiting for you. I am the God who fed the thousands with a few loaves and fish, and I am the God who will make your limited resources expand into more than enough. I see the urgent notices, the legal language that makes your head spin, and the subtle threats of those who seek to profit from your fear. Do not fear them. They have no power over the one who is hidden in the secret place of the Most High. I am shifting the hearts of those who hold authority over your situation. I am whispering your name in the dreams of those who can help you. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a child of destiny. This delay you feel is not a denial. It is a divine protection. I am shielding you from a snare that you cannot see, a trap hidden beneath the fine print. Listen to the gentle tug in your spirit, that quiet not yet that has been humming in the back of your mind. That is my Holy Spirit guiding you into all truth. I want to give you a future and a hope, not a burden and a regret. I am the architect of your tomorrow, and I have already seen the victory that awaits you on the other side of this trial. You are worried about being enough of a parent, enough of a provider, enough of a success. Hear me now. You are enough because I am in you. Your value is not determined by your bank balance or the titles you carry. It is determined by the price I was willing to pay for your soul. You are priceless. You are cherished. You are the apple of my eye. So, when the world demands your signature, when the clock ticks loudly and the pressure mounts, retreat into the sanctuary of my presence. Let the noise of the world fade until all that remains is the sound of my love. I am working all things together for your good. Every setback, every disappointment, every moment of uncertainty is being woven into a tapestry of triumph. You will look back on this day, not with the memory of a mistake made in haste, but with the testimony of a miracle born of patience. I am pouring out a fresh anointing of clarity over you now. The fog is lifting. The path is becoming clear. You will know exactly what to do when the time is right, and it will not be driven by fear, but by a deep, resonant peace. I am your refuge. I am your strength. I am your very present help in times of trouble. Do not sign that paper. Wait for my word. Wait for my timing. I am about to do something so wonderful in your life that it will silence every doubt and erase every worry. I am with you. I am for you. I am in you. Trust me. I see the way your hand hovers over the desk, the shadow of the pen elongating in the amber glow of the lamp. You are exhausted, my child, and I know that the weight of this decision feels like a millstone around your neck. You have been told that this is the final hour, that if you do not affix your name to those lines, the house of cards you have built will come tumbling down. But I am the rock that does not shift, and I am telling you that what you think is a safety net is actually a snare. I have watched you through the long hours of the night, your mind racing like a river in flood, trying to calculate every possible outcome, trying to solve an equation that only I have the answer to. I see the flickering street lamp outside your window casting rhythmic shadows against the blinds, and I hear the way the heater clicks on and off in the quiet house. These small details of your life are not hidden from me. You remember the small wooden porch of your childhood home, where you used to sit and watch the summer storms roll in. You felt safe then, not because you understood the lightning, but because you knew your father was inside. I am that father now, and I am telling you that the storm outside is not meant to destroy you, but to wash away the path that leads to a dead end. This paper you hold, this agreement that seems so reasonable on the surface, contains a price you cannot see. It asks for your peace in exchange for a temporary comfort. It asks for your integrity in exchange for a shortcut. I did not bring you through the wilderness of the last 3 years just to watch you settle for a mirage in the desert. Think of the specific moment last Tuesday when you felt that sudden, sharp tug in your spirit. That was me. Think of the way the air seemed to grow cold when you reached for your glasses to read the 3rd page. That was me. I am speaking to you through the very fabric of your intuition, which is the echo of my voice in your soul. I see the face of the one who is pressuring you. I see their impatience, their hidden agenda, and the way they have carefully curated their words to play upon your deepest fears of inadequacy. They tell you that you are behind, that your peers have surpassed you, and that this is your last chance to catch up. They are lying. You are exactly where you need to be for the miracle I am about to perform. Do you remember the story of the widow and the jar of oil? She thought she was at her end, but in her obedience, the small became a fountain that never ran dry. I am about to pour into your life a supply that does not depend on this contract. I am opening a fountain of resource that will make this deal look like a drop of water in the ocean. I want you to look at the dust motes dancing in the light right now. Each one is under my command. If I can sustain the microscopic, can I not sustain your career, your family, your future? You are worried about the what-ifs. What if they walk away? What if the bank calls? What if I lose my reputation? Let them walk. Let the call come. Your reputation is safe with me, for I am the one who justifies the righteous. I am preparing a transition for you that is so seamless and so beautiful that you will weep with joy when you see how the pieces fit together. But this paper, this hurried, fear-driven document, is a piece from a different puzzle. It does not belong in the masterpiece I am painting with your life. I am calling you to a higher level of trust, a level where you can stand still while the world around you is in a frenzy. I am placing a mantle of authority on your shoulders, and that authority does not come from a signature. It comes from your submission to my will. I see the specific worry you have about your children, about the legacy you will leave them. You think that by signing this, you are securing their future. I tell you, you are only securing a burden for them to untangle later. The best legacy you can leave them is the testimony of a parent who waited on the Lord and was not put to shame. I am sending angels to guard the four corners of your home tonight. You do not need to stay awake to protect yourself. I am the watchman who never slumbers. Tomorrow, when the sun rises, do not rush to your phone. Spend the first moments of the day with me. Let the dew on the grass remind you of my mercies, which are new every morning. There is a person you have not yet met, a connection you have not yet made, who is currently being moved by my spirit to offer you the very thing you are trying to force through this paper. They are looking for someone with your exact skills, your exact heart, and your exact integrity. If you sign this paper today, you will be bound by its terms when they arrive. Wait for the God-ordained moment. It is coming, swifter than the dawn. I am weaving a tapestry of triumph from the threads of your patience. Every tear you have shed over this decision has been caught in my bottle. Every prayer you have whispered in the dark has been recorded in my book. You are not alone in that room. I am standing right beside you, my hand on your shoulder, my breath in your lungs. Think of the ancestors who walked this path before you, those who faced fires and mountains with nothing but a promise. Their spirit of endurance is your inheritance. They are cheering you on, urging you not to trade your birthright for a bowl of soup. The pressure you feel is not the weight of failure, but the pressure of a diamond being formed. If you bypass the pressure, you lose the brilliance. I am making you brilliant. I see the specific bills on your kitchen table, the ones with the red ink. I see the medical report that you've tucked away in the drawer. I am in all of those spaces. I am the God of the red ink and the God of the healing word. This paper is a distraction from the deep work I am doing. Listen to the rhythm of your own heart. I timed every beat. I am not going to let you fall. Stay on the bank with me a little longer. The bridge I am building is almost complete. It is strong. It is sure. It is yours, so breathe. Let the pen fall. Let the tension leave your neck. I am here. Notice the dust motes dancing in the shaft of light cutting through the window of this room. They move without worry, carried by an invisible current, yet not one of them falls without my notice. How much more do I hold you? You are sitting in that chair, the leather or the cold plastic pressing against your back, and you feel the sweat pooling in your palms. That is not just nerves. It is the friction of your spirit resisting a path that was never meant for you. Look at the pen. It feels heavy, doesn't it? Like it's made of lead instead of plastic. That weight is my grace, slowing your hand, giving you these precious seconds to hear my heart. You are thinking about the phone call you have to make if you don't sign. You are picturing the disappointment, the raised voices, the "I told you so's" from those who equate your worth with your wealth. But I am your shield and the lifter of your head. I will take those voices and turn them into the sound of distant waves, noises that cannot harm the shore of your soul. I see the ledger of your life, the the one you keep in your mind at 3:00 a.m. You count the mistakes, the missed opportunities, the times you took the shortcut and ended up in a desert. You think this paper is the only way to fix those past errors. You think this is your penance. It is not. My mercy is not a transaction. It is a gift. You cannot buy your way out of a desert with a contract signed in fear. I remember the very day you were born, the first breath you took that startled the air. I knew then every contract that would be placed before you, every crossroad you would encounter. I have been preparing the yes that is coming, the yes that will not require you to sell a piece of your peace. Think of the garden you passed this morning or the one you remember from your youth, the way the earth smells after a rain. Growth happens in the dark beneath the surface where no one can see. You feel like you are in the dark right now, buried under the weight of expectations. But you are not buried, you are planted. And the seed does not struggle to become a flower, it simply yields to the life within it. Yield to the life I have placed in you. The man across the desk is impatient. He taps his foot. He looks at the clock. He lives in a world of deadlines. I live in the world of the eternal now. To him, this is a closing. To me, this is an opening. I am opening a door that no man can shut, and I am shutting this one because I love you too much to let you enter a room that will eventually become a prison. Do you remember the story of the man who sold everything for the pearl of great price? You are that pearl to me. I have already sold everything to claim you. Why would I let you settle for a pebble now? I see the specific fear about the mortgage, the way you look at the roof and wonder how long it will hold. I am the pillar of fire by night and the cloud by day. I am the shelter that does not fail. The provision you seek is already in motion. It is coming from a direction you haven't even looked toward yet. It is a letter in the mail, a phone call from an old friend, a sudden shift in the heart of someone who owes you a debt. It is the God-ordained moment. If you sign this, you will be busy tending to this new burden when the miracle arrives, and you won't have the hands free to receive it. Empty your hands. Drop the pen. Let the ink of your life be written by my finger, not by the terms of a predatory world. I am the one who feeds the ravens. I am the one who clothes the lilies in more glory than Solomon. Are you not more precious than a raven? Are you not more beautiful than a lily? I am weaving your triumph. The threads of your patience are being pulled tight, but they will not break. They are forming a garment of praise that will replace this spirit of heaviness. Look at the paper one last time. See it for what it truly is, a distraction, a detour, a counterfeit. Now look up. See the horizon of my promise. It is glowing, it is steady. It is the dawn of your new day. Just wait. The bridge is almost finished. Walk with me on the bank. Talk to me. Tell me your fears again, not because I don't know them, but because I want to hear your voice turning into trust. I am right here. I am the calm in the center of your storm. I want you to recall the smell of the rain on the pavement, that sharp, clean scent of a world being washed. That is what I am doing in your life right now. I am washing away the grit of the grind, the exhaustion of the hustle. You have been told that if you don't grab this opportunity, you are a failure. Who told you that? It was not the one who called you beloved. It was not the one who knew you before the foundations of the world. That voice of pressure is a stranger's voice. My sheep know my voice, and my voice sounds like the wind in the pines, like the laughter of a child, like the deep, resonant all is well that hums in the marrow of your bones. I see the way your eyes keep darting to the signature line. It looks like a finish line, doesn't it? But it is a starting line for a race you were never meant to run. I have a different path, one with green pastures and still waters. I know the water is turbulent right now, and you are thirsty for a solution, any solution. But do not drink from a poisoned well just because you are parched. I am the living water. Drink from me. I am the manna that falls when the cupboards are bare. I am the cruse of oil that does not run dry. I am the God of the widow's mite and the king's treasury. There is no lack in me. Every bill on that table has a name, but my name is higher. Every debt has a number, but my riches are unsearchable. I am the great negotiator. I am going into the boardrooms you cannot enter. I am speaking to the officials you cannot reach. I am turning the hearts of kings like channels of water. You do not need this paper to secure your future. Your future was secured on a hill 2,000 years ago. It was secured when I breathed life into your lungs this morning. So let your shoulders drop. Let the tension that has lived in your neck for months begin to dissolve. You are not a slave to the system. You are a child of the kingdom. The person waiting for your signature is starting to get uncomfortable with your silence. Let them wait. Their discomfort is a small price for your destiny. I am giving you the courage of lions. I am giving you the peace of the dove. You are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses, a gallery of the faithful who are leaning over the balconies of heaven, watching this very moment. They know the glory that follows the no you are about to give to this world. They know the yes I have waiting for you. This is your moment of refining. This is where the gold becomes pure. Do not step out of the fire until the dross is gone. The brilliance I am creating in you will light the way for others who are also facing their own papers, their own pens, their own moments of desperation. You are becoming a beacon, so breathe deeply. The air is full of my spirit. The room is full of my love. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I am the God of your not yet. Trust me just a little longer. The dawn is swifter than you think. I see the way your thumb is tracing the edge of the fountain pen, the cold metal reflecting the sterile fluorescent lights above. I see the bead of sweat beginning to form at your temple, and the way the air in this office feels suddenly too thin to breathe. Do not be hurried. The man sitting across from you, the one checking his gold watch with such practiced impatience, does not own your time. He thinks he is the master of this moment, but he is merely a footnote in the story I am writing for you. I remember the night last November when you sat on the cold linoleum of your kitchen floor, the low hum of the refrigerator the only sound in the house, and you asked me if I had forgotten the sound of your name. I was there when the tears hit the tiles, and I am here now as your hand hovers over that signature line. This paper is a shortcut. It looks like the end of the struggle, a way to finally silence the creditors and the critics, but it is a cage of gilded bars. If you sign this, you are agreeing to their terms of your worth. You are agreeing that your destiny can be calculated in digits and cents, but I have already calculated your value, and the sum was my own heart. Why would you sell what I have already bought at such a high price? Look out the window for a moment. Notice the sparrow perched on the ledge, oblivious to the high-stakes transaction in this room. It does not sow or reap, yet I feed it. Are you not more valuable than many sparrows? Do you remember the dry brook, season 3 years ago when you thought every resource had vanished? You felt the same panic then, the same urge to grasp at any passing shadow, yet I provided. I sent the check in the mail when the sun was already setting. I opened the heart of that stranger at the grocery store. I am the God of the 11th hour, but I am also the God of the 12:30 miracle. The person waiting for you is cleared his throat now, asking if there is a problem. Smile at him with the secret peace I am pouring into your chest. It is not a smile of arrogance, but of hidden knowledge. You know something he does not. You know that the Creator of the stars is standing at your right hand, whispering that there is a phone call being prepared right now in an office 3 time zones away. A connection you haven't made yet. A person I am stirring to offer you exactly what you need without the strings this paper carries. This document contains clauses that would bind your creativity and stipulations that would muffle the very testimony I am building within you. I am your counselor. I am your advocate. I am the one who stands between you and the predator. Do not let the fear of what if drown out the I am. You are worried about the bridges you might burn by walking away today. My child, I am the one who makes a way through the fire. If that bridge burns, it is because I never wanted you to return to the land of your captivity. Let it burn. The light of that fire will only help you see the path forward more clearly. I am unfolding a map before you that isn't made of ink, but of spirit and truth. It is a map of divine appointments and sudden openings. You are about to walk into a season of suddenlies. Suddenly, the debt will be cleared. Suddenly, the healing will manifest. Suddenly, the door that has been locked for a decade will swing wide on oiled hinges. But you must stay in the hallway of faith for just a moment longer. Do not try to pick the lock with this pen. I have the keys of David. What I open, no man can shut. I am shutting this door for your protection, shielding you from a sorrow you cannot yet conceive. In 2 years, you would look back at this signature and weep for the freedom you traded away. I am sparing you that salt tear. I am preserving your joy. Notice the way the light catches the dust motes dancing in the air of this pressurized office. Even the dust obeys my gravity. Even the air you breathe is mine to give. Lean back in your chair. The pressure you feel is the world trying to mold you, but I am the potter, and you are on my wheel. I am not finished with this vessel. I am adding a strength to your spirit that you didn't know you possessed. You are meant for the high places where the air is thin and the vision is clear. You were never meant to grovel for crumbs at a table where you have to hide your light just to keep a seat. I have prepared a table for you in the presence of your enemies. You don't need to sign for a seat at their table when I have already pulled out a chair for you at mine. The bread at my table doesn't leave you hungry. The wine at my table doesn't leave you thirsty. Trust the ache in your soul that is telling you to put the pen down. That ache is my voice. It is the resonance of heaven vibrating in your bones. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are a victor in training. This moment of hesitation is not a sign of weakness. It is the birth of your courage. Breathe deeply. The room is thick with the scent of my grace. I am the Alpha and the Omega, and I am already standing in the future you are so afraid of. It is beautiful there. It is bright. And it doesn't require this signature to become real. Trust me just a little longer. The dawn is swifter than you think, and the morning will bring a song you have never heard before. Look at the ink in that pen. To your eyes, it is merely a tool of commerce, a dark fluid waiting to bind you to a promise that will weigh like lead upon your shoulders for decades. But to me, that ink is a shadow trying to blot out the light I have already scripted for your days. Look at your hand. Do you see the slight tremor in your fingers? That is not your anxiety, though the world would name it so. That is the resonance of my spirit, a holy friction between your destiny and this detour. I remember when those hands were small, when you reached out for your father's thumb and felt safe. I was there then, and I am here now, more present than the air in your lungs. You think this signature is the only way to provide, the only way to silence the creditors and the critics. You think if you don't sign, the walls will crumble. But I am your fortress. If the walls crumble, it is only so I can give you the horizon. I am the God who fed Elijah by the brook when the land was parched, and I am the God who will feed you when this door closes. The men sitting across from you see a negotiator. I see a wounded lamb who has forgotten the shepherd's voice. They are looking at their watches, impatient for you to finalize their profit. They do not see the angels standing behind your chair, their swords unsheathed and glowing with the heat of 1,000 suns. Those angels are waiting for your no. They are waiting for you to choose the narrow path where I walk, rather than the wide highway paved with the gold of compromise. Remember the dreams you had when you were 12. You didn't dream of spreadsheets and non-disclosure agreements. You dreamt of light, of healing, of building things that would outlast the stars. This paper is a cage for that dream. It is a leash disguised as a lifeline. If you sign this, you are not just selling your time. You are leasing your peace to people who do not know the value of a soul. Think of the sleepless nights you've already spent, the way your stomach twists when you pull into this parking lot. That is not the life I bought for you on the cross. I paid a price so that you could walk in liberty, not in the gilded chains of a corporate contract. I am whispering to the very cells of your body right now. Listen to your heart. It is beating a rhythm of rebellion against this injustice. Let it beat. Let it rise. You are worried about the mortgage, about the reputation you've built, about what they will say in the break room when you walk out without a word. But what will I say? I will say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." I will say, "You trusted me when the math didn't add up." I am the master of the loaves and the fishes. I can make your little more than enough, but I cannot bless a plenty that is rooted in fear and the denial of my calling on your life. Put the pen down. Feel the weight of it, and then feel the lightness of my presence. I am not asking you to understand the next 10 years. I am only asking you to trust me for the next 10 minutes. The wind is beginning to blow from a new direction. Can you feel it? It is the wind of the Spirit, and it is blowing away the fog of your confusion. You are my child. I have engraved your name on the palms of my hands. I do not need a contract to keep my promises to you. I have already signed my commitment to you in blood, and it is a covenant that cannot be broken by any earthly power. Look up from the paper. Look at the window. There is a world out there that needs the light you carry, the authentic, uncompromised light that can only shine when you are free. Do not trade your inheritance for a bowl of pottage. Do not trade your crown for a corner office. I have better things. I have deeper joy. I have a peace that surpasses all understanding, and it is waiting for you on the other side of this no. The ink is drying in the nib of that pen. Let it dry. Let it clog. Let them stare. Your silence is a symphony in my ears. It is the sound of a soul coming home. I am weaving a tapestry with your life, and this moment is a pivotal thread. If you sign, you pull the thread tight and distort the pattern. If you wait, I will weave in colors you have never seen, hues of grace, textures of triumph, and the golden thread of my constant companionship. You are not alone in this office. The cloud of witnesses is leaning over the balconies of heaven, watching this moment with bated breath. They know what it is like to stand at the crossroads. They know the reward of the one who chooses me over the world. Trust the stillness. Trust the still, small voice that is louder than the shouting of your fears. I am with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. The pen is heavy, but my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Take my yoke instead. Let me lead you out of this room and into the wide-open space of my will. There is a garden waiting for you to tend, a song waiting for you to sing, and a life waiting for you to live. A life that doesn't require you to hide who I made you to be. The ticking of the clock on the wall sounds like a hammer against a nail, each second trying to seal a casket on your true potential. You hear the muffled sounds of the city outside, the sirens and the tires on wet pavement, and you feel like a small island in a vast, uncaring sea. But I am the sea, and I am the land, and I am the one who holds the islands in the hollow of my hand. You are worried about the gap in your resume, the months of uncertainty that might follow if you push this paper away. You see a void. I see a womb. Something is being born in this stillness, something that requires the dark and the quiet to grow strong before it meets the light. I remember the night you cried in your car, your forehead pressed against the steering wheel, asking me if I had forgotten you. I was in the passenger seat then, just as I am sitting across from you now, more real than the man in the expensive suit who is tapping his fingers on the mahogany table. He sees a desperate candidate. I see a chosen ambassador. He thinks he is offering you a lifeline. I know he is offering you a tether. Do not let the glitter of their promises blind you to the gold of my presence. I have watched you build your life brick by brick, often with straw when you should have had stone, and I have seen your weariness. You think this contract is the stone you need to finally feel secure. But I am the chief cornerstone. Any building you raise on a foundation of fear will eventually lean and crack under the weight of my glory. I want to build something through you that will stand for eternity. Look at the way the light catches the dust motes dancing in the stillness between you and this man. They are free, drifting on the invisible currents of my breath, while you are considering tethering yourself to a machine that has no heart. You are staring at the dotted line, and the ink looks like a dark river you are afraid to cross. But child, I am the bridge, and I am the water, and I am the very shore you are trying to reach. Do you remember the old blue bicycle you had? The one with the rusted chain and the seat that was always a little too high. You used to ride it down the steepest hill in your neighborhood, feet off the pedals, arms spread wide, screaming with a joy that had no ceiling. You weren't afraid of the fall then because you felt the wind, and the wind felt like my touch. Where did that child go? When did the wind become a threat instead of a companion? This man in the suit across from you, he has forgotten what it feels like to fly. He only knows how to climb ladders that lead to empty lofts. He sees your resume and sees a list of tasks, but I see the nights you stayed up writing poetry by the light of a single candle, because the words were burning inside you. I see the way you stop to help the elderly woman with her groceries even when you are late, because my compassion in you is stronger than your own schedule. That is the gold I am talking about. That is the wealth he cannot buy, and this company cannot utilize. They will try to turn your kindness into customer service and your passion into productivity. They will take the wild, beautiful things about you and try to domesticate them, to put them in a cage of KPIs and quarterly reviews. I remember the smell of the rain on the hot asphalt the day you decided you were going to change the world. You were standing on your porch, watching the storm roll in, and you felt a holy fire in your bones. Do not let this man douse that fire with the cold water of realism. Realism is often just a polite word for a lack of faith. You are worried about the debt, about the letters in the mail with the red ink. I know the weight of those envelopes. I know the way they sit on your chest at 3:00 a.m., making every breath feel like an effort. But I am the God who provided manna in a wasteland. I am the God who brought water from a rock. Do you really think I have brought you this far to let you drown in a cubicle? This paper is a shortcut, and my ways are rarely shortcuts. They are scenic routes that build the muscle of your soul. Think of the garden your grandfather kept. He didn't just throw seeds on the ground and expect a harvest the next morning. He knelt in the dirt, he pulled the weeds, he waded through the frost. You are in a season of waiting, and the enemy of your soul is trying to make you settle for a plastic flower because you are tired of waiting for the real one to bloom. But the real one is coming. I am even now preparing the soil of your next season. There is a woman in a different city, someone you haven't met, who is right now praying for someone with exactly your heart to help her start a movement. There is a child who needs the specific story only you can tell. If you sign this, you are saying no to them so you can say yes to this man's bottom line. The mahogany of this table is polished so bright you can see your own reflection, but it's a distorted one. It makes you look small. It makes you look desperate. Look into my eyes instead. In my reflection, you are a conqueror. You are a pioneer. You are a light bearer in a world that is growing dim. I saw you in the grocery store last week, counting your coins to see if you could afford the good coffee, and your heart sank. I was there, and I whispered to your spirit that you are worth more than many sparrows. I am not testing you to hurt you. I am training you to trust me. This moment is your graduation from the school of fear. The man is tapping his pen. He thinks his time is valuable. He has no idea that he is sitting in the presence of a child of the Most High, and that all of heaven is leaning in to see if you will remember who you are. Do not let the glitter of his office blind you to the glory of my kingdom. I have seen the way you hide your shaking hands beneath the table. You don't have to hide from me. I made those hands. I know every line on your palms. I have written your name on mine. The vacuum of the silence in this room is being filled with the prayers of those who went before you, your ancestors who worked the soil and looked at the stars and dreamed of a life of freedom for their children's children. They are cheering for you to hold out for the promise. You feel like an island, but you are part of a continent of grace. The city sounds outside, the sirens, the tires on wet pavement. They are the sounds of a world in a hurry to get nowhere. Do not join that race. You have a different pace. You have the rhythm of the Sabbath in your soul. I want to build something through you that doesn't crumble when the market crashes. I want to build a legacy of love, a monument of mercy. If you sign that paper, you are agreeing to build his house, but I want to build yours. And my house has many mansions. It has room for your dreams, room for your rest, and room for the you that hasn't even been discovered yet. The pen is just an inch away. Your fingers are twitching. Every fiber of your survival instinct is screaming at you to just get it over with, to take the security, to stop the uncertainty. But uncertainty is the birthplace of miracles. It is the only place where faith has room to move. If you knew everything that was coming, you wouldn't need me. And I love you too much to let you live a life where you don't need me. We are partners, you and I. This is the moment of our covenant. Put the pen down, not because you have another offer, but because you have me. That is enough. That has always been enough. The man is about to speak. He is going to offer you a signing bonus, a little more sugar to coat the pill. Listen to my voice instead. It is the voice of the wind, the voice of the thunder, and the voice of the whisper in the heart of the night. I am telling you, wait, just wait. The dawn is coming, and it doesn't need his permission to break. He is leaning forward now, the expensive fabric of his charcoal suit bunching at the shoulders. He thinks he has you. He sees the way your gaze has lingered on that dotted line, the way your chest rises and falls with the shallow breath of a person trapped in a corner. He is clearing his throat, a calculated sound designed to break the silence. We can add a relocation stipend, he says, his voice like velvet over a blade. And the performance incentives. They start on day one. I want you to look past the glare of the fluorescent lights reflecting off his gold watch. Look into the air between you, where my spirit is hovering, a quiet flame in a room full of shadows. This man sees a resource to be managed, a cog to be fitted into a machine that was built long before you arrived, and will continue long after you are discarded. But I see a masterpiece in progress. I see the nights you spent weeping over the kitchen table, the unpaid invoices stacked like monuments to your struggle. I saw you when you walked through the grocery store aisles, secretly calculating the cost of every item, praying the card wouldn't be declined. I know the weight of the not enough that has been crushing your ribs for years. And that is exactly why he thinks you are an easy mark. He thinks your desperation is his leverage. He doesn't know that your desperation is actually the soil of your deliverance. Remember the garden you tried to plant 3 summers ago. You were so disappointed when the frost came early and the tender green shoots turned to black mush. You felt like even the earth was against you. But I was there, working in the subsoil, strengthening the roots you couldn't see. I was preparing you for a season where you wouldn't just survive the winter, but where you would become the shade for others. If you sign this today, you are telling the universe that your price is a signing bonus and a title that sounds impressive at a dinner party. You are trading your sovereignty for a steady paycheck that will never be quite enough to buy back your peace. He is sliding a second pen across the desk, a heavy, silver one. It is a gesture of false generosity. He is waiting for you to grasp it, but I am asking you to grasp my hand instead. Do you remember the dream you had when you were 12? Not the one about fame, but the one about freedom. The one where you were standing on a hill and you didn't owe anyone a single minute of your soul. That dream wasn't a childish fantasy. It was a blueprint I etched into your spirit. This contract is an attempt to pave over that blueprint with a parking lot. Your heart is hammering against your ribs like a bird in a cage. That isn't anxiety, my child. That is your spirit sounding the alarm. It is the holy no rising up from the depths of your being. You feel as though if you walk out of this office without that signature, you are walking into a void. You see a cliff edge, but I see the bridge that hasn't quite appeared yet because your feet haven't moved toward it. Faith is not seeing the path. Faith is taking the step that creates the path. Think of the cracked tile in your bathroom, the one you've been meaning to fix but couldn't afford. Think of the way you have to jiggle the key in the ignition of your car just to get it to turn over. These are not signs of your failure. They are the artifacts of a season that is ending. You are afraid that if you turn this down, those cracks will stay forever, that the car will eventually stay silent. But I am the God who makes all things new. I am the God who fed 5,000 with a boy's lunch. Do you really think I cannot handle your mortgage? Do you really think I am less reliable than a human resources department? Look at him. He is checking his phone. He is impatient because his time is money, but my time is eternity. I am not in a rush. I have waited since the foundations of the world to see you stand in your power. This is the test, the threshold between being a servant of the system and a child of the king. He is going to say it now. He is going to mention security and longevity. He is going to use words that sound like a warm blanket but feel like a heavy chain. When he speaks, I want you to feel the warmth of my breath on your cheek. I want you to remember that your worth is not a number on a ledger. You are the one for whom I moved the stars. You are the one I have protected through every storm you thought would break you. You didn't survive all those long, lonely nights just to surrender in a climate-controlled office to a man who doesn't even know your middle name. Take a deep breath. Let the air fill the hidden corners of your lungs. The ink is still wet in the pen he's holding out. The silence is stretching, becoming uncomfortable. Let it be uncomfortable. In that discomfort, the old you is dying, and the you that I designed is taking its first real breath. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are an heir to a kingdom, and a king does not beg for crumbs from a table he is destined to flip. Wait for the words I am about to give you. They will not be words of anger, but words of such quiet authority that the very atmosphere of this room will change. Don't look at the paper. Look through it. Look into the future I have been weaving for you, stitch by stitch, tier by tier. It is closer than you think, and it requires nothing from you but the courage to say, not this. Not today. Not ever. The man across the desk clears his throat, a dry, rhythmic sound that tries to reclaim the space my presence has already occupied. He shifts in his leather chair, the sound of the hide groaning under his weight, a mirror to the groaning in your own soul. He thinks he is offering you a lifeline, but I am showing you it is a tether. Remember the porch swing in the summer of your 12th year. Remember how the air felt heavy with the scent of jasmine and the coming storm, and you felt, for a fleeting moment, that you were connected to everything. That wasn't a child's fancy. That was me, whispering of the vastness I had prepared for you. This office, with its neutral tones and its certificate of Employee of the Month on the wall, is a box designed to make you forget the horizon. He is pushing the document 3 inches closer to you now. His fingernails are manicured. His watch is worth more than your first 3 cars combined. And yet he is the one who is poor. He is bankrupt of the very thing I have poured into you, the breath of life that cannot be quantified. Look at his eyes. They aren't looking at you. They are looking at a resource. They are calculating the output of your remaining years like one calculates the mileage on a lease. But you are not a machine to be tuned and discarded. You are a masterpiece in progress. Do you remember the night you sat on the floor of your first apartment, eating cold cereal out of a plastic bowl because you had spent your last $20 on paint? You were terrified then, too. You thought you were failing, but I was there, sitting on the floor beside you, marveling at the colors you were brave enough to spill onto the canvas. That hunger you felt then, it wasn't just for food. It was for the truth, and the truth is not found in this contract. It is not found in the non-compete clauses or the confidentiality agreements. Those are just cages built of words. I am the word that was in the beginning, and I am telling you that the door is not locked. He thinks he holds the key because he holds the pen, but I hold the hand that holds the world. Listen to the hum of the air conditioner. To him, it is just background noise. To you, let it be the sound of the desert wind, calling you to go where the paths are not yet paved. You are worried about the bills. You are worried about the gap in your resume. You are worried about what your mother will say when you tell her you walked away from the opportunity of a lifetime. But I am the one who feeds the sparrows. I am the one who clothes the lilies in more glory than this man could ever buy on Fifth Avenue. Do you think I brought you through the fire of the 2016 winter just to let you ash out here? Do you think I healed your heart after it was shattered by that betrayal just so you could hand the pieces to a corporation for safekeeping? No, I am doing a new thing. It is springing up even now. Do you not perceive it? The paper in front of you is a shroud. It wants to wrap up your spontaneity, your divine yes, and your holy no. It wants to buy your Mondays and sell your Sundays. It wants to own the way you think before you fall asleep. But your thoughts belong to the stars. Your heart belongs to the wild. When you look at the ink, see it for what it is, charcoal and oil trying to bind a spirit of fire and wind. Feel the pulse in your wrist, thump, thump, thump. That is the drumbeat of a different army. That is the rhythm of the kingdom. You are not alone in this room. A cloud of witnesses is standing behind you, leaning in, holding their collective breath. They are the ones who refused to bow to the golden statues of their day. They are the ones who chose the cave over the palace because the cave was where my glory dwelt. They are cheering for you. They are not asking you to be reasonable. They are asking you to be faithful. The man clears his throat again. Is there a problem? He asks. His voice is smooth, like a polished stone, but there is no water in it. He is thirsty for your submission, though he doesn't know it. He is a hungry ghost in a three-piece suit. Answer him not with your mouth, but with your posture. Straighten your spine. Let the crown I placed on your head before the foundations of the world were laid become visible to the eyes of your spirit. You are royalty in exile, and the time for your return is drawing near. This paper is the last obstacle. It is the final test of the old wilderness. Beyond this door, there is a path you cannot see yet, a path that smells of rain and possibility. It doesn't have a health plan or a 401k, but it has me. And I am the one who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. I am the one who can turn water into wine and a no into a resurrection. Don't sign it. Don't even pick up the pen. Let the silence grow until it is heavy enough to break the spell of this room. Let him see that you are not afraid of his silence because you are listening to my song. Remember the way your heart jumped when you saw that hawk circling over the highway last Tuesday. That was a sign. You are meant for the heights, not the cubicle. You are meant for the broad places, not the narrow margins of a legal document. The ink is drying on the tip of the pen. He is starting to look annoyed. Good. His annoyance is the sound of a system realizing it has no power over a soul that has found its worth in the divine. Stay in this moment. Don't rush to the exit. Savor the feeling of your own freedom. It is a terrifying, beautiful weight. It is the weight of glory. You are about to walk out of here with nothing in your hands but everything in your heart. And that, my child, is exactly where I want you. We are going to build something that cannot be torn down. We are going to write a story that doesn't need his signature to be true. Just wait. Just breathe. The light is shifting. The shadows of the blinds are falling across the desk like bars, but you are the one standing on the outside of them. Look at the door. It is just wood and hinges, but once you walk through it without signing that paper, it becomes a portal. You are not losing your security, you are losing your chains, and the world is waiting for a person who knows the difference. You are that person. Put the pen down now. I see your hand trembling, the way the light catches the silver clip of that expensive instrument he pushed across the desk toward you. It feels heavy, doesn't it? Like it's made of lead pulled from the deepest, darkest pits of a mountain you were never meant to climb. He's leaning back now, crossing his arms, that smug tilt of his chin suggesting he's already won. He thinks this is a transaction. He thinks he's buying your silence, your time, your very breath for the next 10 years. But he doesn't know about the fire I lit in your bones before you were even a thought in your mother's mind. Do you remember the summer you were 7, sitting under that ancient, gnarled cedar tree behind your grandmother's house? The air was thick with the scent of sap and coming rain. You were drawing in the dirt with a stick, mapping out kingdoms that didn't exist yet. Your grandmother came out with a glass of cold lemonade, the condensation dripping onto your dusty knees, and she told you, "Little bird, never let anyone tell you where your sky ends." You've forgotten that, haven't you? You buried it under layers of spreadsheets, corporate jargon, and the desperate need to be sensible. But I haven't forgotten. I was there in the rustle of the cedar needles. I was there in the cold tartness of the lemon. I am here now, in this sterile, air-conditioned tomb, reminding you that your sky has no ceiling. Look at him. Really look at him. See the grayness around his eyes, the way his soul has become as thin and brittle as the paper he's asking you to sign. He is not the master of your destiny. He is a prisoner who has fallen in love with his own bars. He wants you to join him because your vibrancy reminds him of everything he threw away for that mahogany desk and the view of the skyline. If you sign that paper, you aren't securing your future. You are donating your light to a room that refuses to be illuminated. The clock on the wall, the one with the gold leaf trim, is ticking. Each beat is a heartbeat of a life you haven't lived yet. I want to tell you about the garden you're going to plant. Not a metaphor, my child, but a real garden. I see the dirt under your fingernails, the way your back will ache with the good kind of tiredness, the way the tomatoes will taste like sunlight made solid. I see the workshop with the slanted roof where the morning light hits the floorboards just right. There is a table there, waiting for your hands to shape something that isn't a report or a budget. There is a story in you that needs room to breathe, a narrative that doesn't fit into the 12-point font of a legal brief. He's clearing his throat now. He's about to speak. He's going to offer you a sweetener, a little more gold to line the cage. He's going to talk about stability and career trajectory. When he does, I want you to look at the small, chipped paint on the edge of his desk. Even this fortress of his is crumbling. Nothing built on the suppression of the spirit can last. Recall the dream you had 3 nights ago, the one where you were swimming in water that felt like liquid sapphire and you realized you didn't need to come up for air. That wasn't just a dream. That was a glimpse of the grace I have prepared for you. In my kingdom, you don't have to struggle to breathe. You don't have to bargain for your existence. The air is free. The water is life. The signature he wants is a seal on a tomb, but I am the one who rolls the stone away. Think of the woman you saw on the train this morning, the one wearing the mismatched socks and reading poetry with tears in her eyes. You felt a pang of envy, didn't you? You envied her messiness, her raw, unfiltered humanity. You envied the fact that she was moved by something beautiful while you were preparing to be moved by something profitable. That envy was my whisper. It was a holy jealousy for your own soul. You were never meant to be a polished gear in a machine. You were meant to be a wild, sprawling garden, full of weeds and wildflowers and things that grow in the dark. The pen is still in your hand. Feel the plastic, the coldness of it. It's an anchor and you're in the middle of a storm, but I'm telling you to cut the rope. Let the anchor sink. Let the ship drift if it must, because I am the wind and I am the current. I know where the islands are. I know where the hidden coves are, where the pearls are waiting to be found. He thinks he's offering you a map, but he's only offering you a cage. Wait for the moment when the sun hits the water carafe on the table. There. Do you see the rainbow it casts on the wall? That is my signature. That is the only covenant that matters. It's a reminder that after every flood, there is a promise. You are in the flood right now, the waters of expectation and fear rising to your chin. But you don't have to build an ark out of legal documents. You just have to step out of the boat. He's checking his watch. His time is expensive, or so he tells himself. But my time is eternal, and I am spending it all on you in this heartbeat. I am pouring galaxies into this one decision. Do not be intimidated by his impatience. His impatience is a symptom of his smallness. You are expanding. Your spirit is filling the room, pressing against the glass windows, reaching for the trees outside that are swaying in the wind. Those trees don't sign contracts to get their nutrients from the soil. The birds don't negotiate for the wind. Why do you think you, my most beloved creation, have to sell yourself to survive? The silence is beautiful, isn't it? It's becoming a shield. He's looking away now, uncomfortable with the sudden stillness of your body. He's used to people who fidget, who apologize, who rush to fill the gap with nervous laughter. But you are standing in the center of a storm stillness. You are anchored in the divine. You are listening to the rhythm of a different world. I want you to think about the blue bicycle you had when you were 10. The one with the rusted bell that sounded like a cracked teacup. You rode that bike down the steepest hill in the county, your hair flying, your eyes watering, your heart in your throat. You weren't afraid then. You knew that even if you fell, the earth would catch you. I am that earth. I am the wind in your hair. I am the thrill of the descent. You are at the top of a much bigger hill now, and the person across the desk is telling you to keep the training wheels on forever. He's telling you that the hill is too dangerous, that you're too weak, that you need his permission to move. But I see the muscles in your soul. I see the strength you've gathered through every heartbreak, every late-night prayer, every time you chose kindness over convenience. You are not weak. You are a lion being asked to act like a house cat. You are a river being asked to stay in a bottle. Put the pen down, not with a bang, but with a quiet finality. Let it click against the wood. The sound will be like a key turning in a lock, not the lock he wants to close, but the one you are finally opening. We are going to walk out of here together. You might feel the cold air on your face and think for a second that you've made a mistake, that you've walked into a void. But that void is just the space where I am about to create something new. Remember the smell of the old library books, the ones that smelled of dust and ancient wisdom. There is a book with your name on it, and the pages are currently blank. Every day you stayed here, someone else was writing in it for you, using gray ink and boring words. Starting today, starting this very second, you are taking the pen back. But it's not this pen. It's a pen made of light, and the ink is your own life's blood, your joy, your tears, your truth. He's opening his mouth to speak. He's going to ask if there's a problem. He's going to use your first name in that condescending way he does, trying to pull you back into the role of the obedient subordinate. When he does, don't answer right away. Just look at him with the eyes I gave you, eyes that can see the divine spark even in him, buried under all that greed. See him as the small, scared child he once was, and you will realize you have nothing to fear from him. You are the one with the power here. You are the one who can say no and change the universe. Stay in this breath. There is a specific bird, a sparrow, perched on the ledge outside the window. It's watching you. It's a messenger. It doesn't sow or reap, yet I feed it. Are you not more valuable than 1,000 sparrows? I have the feathers of your wings ready. I have the updrafts waiting. You just have to refuse the cage. The ink is still wet on the page, but it doesn't have your mark on it. Keep it that way. We are almost at the threshold. Can you feel the shift in the air? The room is getting brighter, even though the sun is behind a cloud. That's because you are finally beginning to shine from the inside out. Don't stop. Don't flinch. The message is almost complete, and the journey is just beginning.